There's a lot of dangerous hobbies out there, whether it's skydiving, cliff climbing, or soap making, oddly. You'd actually be surprised. But by far the stupidest hobby is cave diving, and I am happy to report that some psychopath has officially made a caving VR game, and I'm slightly less happy to report that I bought it.
What is wrong with my gloves? Do I have a disease?
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why, linkdk, why would you do this? And to be completely honest with you, I solely bought the game because the horror levels looked interesting.
Alright, what do? I really want to do the horror, but also I'm kind of interested in Nutty Putty. Came from there, and if I went that way, then why did I end up? Okay, wait, then this way is the exit, or is it not the exit? Oh boy, I'm on the second cave, and I'm already basically just dead. Okay, this good news is it is going up, so maybe this is the right way. Oh, dead end. Oh crap.
Before you can unlock all the extra content like the horror maps or Nutty Putty, which I forgot to mention is also in this game, you have to complete at least 3 of the story missions. And I have to say, the actual caving in this game is pretty in-depth. There's some passages that are so tight that you literally have to exhale all the air out of your lungs and shimmy forward on your tiptoes, which is psychotic, but also accurate. And because I'm one of those people who's all about that immersion, I actually exhaled whenever I got to one of those parts. And I have to say, I think I understand why people make caving a common thing. It's because they have brain damage from squeezing through too many tight passages.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm suffocating to death. Oh gosh, dude, this is bad. I'm going to have brain damage. I don't even know. Dude, I'm in a video game and I literally can't get down here.
After a little while of trudging my way through the tutorial caves, I finally unlocked the extra content. And since I pretty much only bought Cave Crave for the horror levels, I decided to start out with Nutty Putty, which is not one of the horror maps, but to be completely honest with you, I was still too scared to try them at this point.
8 legs. Oh, dude, 8 legs. That's gonna be spiders, dude. I hate spiders, man.
I really like the Nutty Putty map. It's such a unique feeling to be crawling through a virtual cave and to know that that environment actually exists somewhere in the real world. And now that I'm actually saying that out loud, I'm realizing that that's a very childish takeaway, especially considering the fact that a man legitimately lost his life in this cave. But then again, I am a VR content creator, so I really don't know what you were expecting.
We can head left to enter the maze, or go right toward the famous big slide. For the full experience,
one of those sounds much funner than the other. Can you imagine how messed up it would be if I get to the part where the guy like died and there's actually like a skeleton there? That'd be like really messed up. That said, I would laugh. Ed's push. So this is where the guy probably died, right? So I'm gonna go follow in his footsteps real quick, or handprints in this case.
When I first bought Cave Crave, I kind of thought that maybe by playing it I would finally understand why cavers do what they do. That didn't happen, but what did happen is I started to realize the depth of cave divers' insanity. I'm not even claustrophobic, and some of these squeezes get me worried. Especially when you consider that someone, at some point in history, saw that hole and decided, you know what, I should exhale all the air out of my lungs and just go for it.
That is such a long way to go without breathing, especially in real life, you know what I mean? If this was real and I was actually cave diving, I would have, like, at least a grade 3 concussion by now. I've just been slamming my head against the rock ceiling.
This is something you'll simply have to experience. See you on the other side.
Really? Could you maybe not give me some advice?
Eventually, I had built up enough courage to finally try one of the horror maps, and my choices were either one called The Void or another one called 8 Legs. So I, of course, chose The Void, and it really wasn't what I was expecting. I would have thought that the horror level would be based more around claustrophobia, since that's what this game does best, but instead, the level mainly consists of climbing over a giant pit on floating rocks. Now granted, if you look down into the pit, there is a giant crab, or quite frankly something down there, but with how high up you are, the fall would just kill you anyway, which ironically is the exact same reason that rock climbing is superior to caving.
There's a dead guy down there. I saw him for just a split second. Why do I have to get closer to the monster? Huh? So that you can have him appear from the darkness and frighten me so hard that I simply perish?
After completing the void, I believed that I had what it took to conquer my fear and get through 8 legs. I was wrong. You see, almost immediately after getting into the map, I started hearing all kinds of unholy noises coming from the tunnels around me. You know, hissing, footsteps, a strange crunchy, wet, scuttling sound, all that good stuff. And I just couldn't do it. So I took a break, watched some Stranger Things, which oddly didn't help, and then decided, you know what, I'm not a coward. So I put my headset back on, marched right into that cave, and then actually saw what the spiders look like, and decided to shut down the game and never play it again.
You know, I was really hoping and kind of praying to the Lord that the spiders would be kind of cubular and, like, not good looking. And, you know, sometimes God doesn't answer your prayers. Okay. That, drawing sounds just gave me a heart palpitation. No. See, I saw the game lagging, and quite frankly, no, I refuse.
Anyways, this is the end of the video. You should try to read a book. I know you think you won't enjoy it, but you should. Personally, I'd suggest Red Rising. It's kind of like The Hunger Games, except it's written by someone who actually cares about their own story. But anyway, unpaid promotion aside, I truly hope that you have a great day, and hopefully, I will see you next week.
And Twisted Climb as a perfect place for the first date underground. What absolute psychopath would take a first date into a cave system? That's the question I have. What serial killer would do that?